Hello, on tonight's show we discuss a man appealed in court on Friday, charged with murdering his partner and their young son. But it gets us asking the panel, do we really dare to step out there and date on dating sites nowadays? Also, we discuss a devastating story that's turned something positive. Carl, 30 years old, from Lincoln, is into teaching boxing and kickboxing since 2010. But we asked the panel, does this really make a difference for young people? And we finish on the beautiful hot weather that we've had all over Lincolnshire. Are we one for putting our sun hats and getting in the garden, or do we hide away? All that's on tonight's show. Hello, joining me, Nicholas James, and keeping you entertained for the next hour is Claire Browning-May.
Hi.
Sandra Overton.
Hello.
And she's been hiding, but she's back. Sue Craven is back.
Hello.
As we talk about tonight, as I say, a man appealing because he's been accused of murdering his partner and his young child. So we also talk about how dating has differenced in the last 10 years. Also, we have that discussion of that young man trying to turn positive from a negative and getting young people off the streets and doing something that they're really passionate about. And we finish on the hot weather that's been beautiful over the last couple of days. But are we sunbeams or are we in a dark room under the cover? All that and a lot more on this week's show. Good evening, panel.
Hi. Good evening.
Hi, ladies. I feel a bit outnumbered this evening. Feel a bit outnumbered. Sue, it's lovely to have you back. We haven't had you for a while. Sue's the hardest panel to get hold of. She's supposed to be on the last 3 weeks' shows. But she's finally made this evening. She's finally made it. Claire, I think you're trying to take my spot now. I really do. I think you're trying to be the anchor.
No way. No way.
And Sandra, we haven't had you for a while either, so it's good to have you back.
Well, I was on the normal programme I should have been on, but then you wanted me at, the last minute.
Last minute.
But I was able to be on with tonight, so it's about...
fantastic. So we send our thoughts out to Anthony Walker. He was supposed to be on this evening. Good evening, Anthony. He's had his second COVID jab and just feeling a little bit rubbish. Also, I'd like to send a big thoughts and well wishes to Ashley Hill, who's poorly and suffering in hospital at the moment with personal problems. So we're just sending all our love out to you and hope you get better very, very soon. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, ladies. So I hope you're ready to have a good gossip.
Oh, yes. Oh, we are.
I hope you're ready. A man appealed in court on Friday, charged with murdering his ex-partner and her young son in Lincolnshire. Now, the man's name is here, but for personal reasons, I'm not going to announce his name because it's not fair. But it happened in Skegness, and he accused the stabbing of she was 26 and her 9-year-old son at a house in Louth. So he was from Skegness and it happened in a house in Louth. But ladies, does it worry you, maybe not for you, but for your children or grandchildren, does it worry you when it comes to putting yourself out there and dating?
Well, I'm speechless, really. I really don't know what to say. I think it's just so sad for the rest of the family.
Definitely. And do you think it's yeah, we send our condolences out to the family. I'm completely sorry, I completely forgot that. We send our condolences out to any friends and family out there that are watching, and this is their true story, basically. But do you think, coming away from the story a bit, do you think putting yourself out there and even going on dating sites is not the safest of things anymore. Well, let's go to you first, Sue. What do you think?
Well, I do worry because I think it boils down to this same old thing as we've talked about before quite often about social media, being on there and all the different sites there are now, and how, I think it's very, very difficult. I don't know, we don't know any details of this story yet, but it sounds as if, probably the relationship had finished and then he did what he did, or was accused of doing what he did. Sam just said it's very sad, but I wouldn't like to be on a dating site. But then nowadays, I don't think there's not much other way that people can meet, is there?
No, and I sort of agree with that. I sort of think the whole dating world and going out to meet somebody in a pub and chatting. I can only speak from the LGBT community, obviously, because I'm a gay man. But the amount of stories that I've told people and gone, oh, actually, it's harder and it's more difficult. I get thrown back at me, and I'm quite happy that it's thrown back at me. That, well, the straight world isn't much different, Nick. It's not much different in people that play, people that talk, people that say stuff that you want to hear, and then turn out to be completely different. What about you, Claire? Does it worry you about your children maybe going on dating sites later on?
No, it worries me because I'm single and I've been single for quite a few years. And I can't say I haven't been on them. I have, but I don't like them. And I've not met anybody because I just don't I don't know. I don't even know why I went on them. Do you know what I mean? Again, it's all about, people being defrauded, like older people who want company because you don't know who you're talking to, and I don't know. I think it is scary. Yeah, I'm a lot older. I won't say wiser, but for my children, because, well, they are in the age of social media, like you say, and it's scary because you just don't know. If say my daughter, I mean, she is coming up for 14, but you don't know if she's going to meet somebody or if someone's grooming her. Do you know what I mean? It's really difficult to, and of course she won't know that. She is quite sensible. She does her dancing and that, but she doesn't play out in the street. But that doesn't mean that, she won't go on her phone, in a year or so's time with a friend or something. And who knows? No. It is a scary thing.
Do you believe, though, with what we've got of social media nowadays and what we've got of dating sites and stuff like that, I think we're more like years ago. I can talk about it because, as I've told you many, many times, I'm 31 this year. And social media wasn't around when I was really young. It just wasn't. And meeting people and going out to meet people and stuff like that was the way you did stuff. Like you just said, Claire, about playing in the street, about being a child and playing in the street. You don't see that very often.
No.
You don't see children playing in the street. And actually, when it comes to people that maybe suffer with anxiety or with even a disability or anything like that, it's more reason to stay at home nowadays. It's more reason to make friends on the internet. It's not really helping anyone, I don't think. And I think you're more judged upon one photograph now.
Yes.
Then you're focused on your personality or what you've got. Obviously, there's got to be an attraction there for things to click. You can't just go on personality. I've tried it. You can't just go on personality, but it's becoming a scary world. Sandra, you're a single lady. Let me put you on the spot a little bit. Would you delve into the world of dating apps?
No, never. Emphatically, no, definitely not. It's a scary world we're in. I have been the victim of a scam.
Have you?
Yes, I have. Not dating wise, and I'm not prepared to go into how and when and where. but yes, I have a serious scam, and it was through supposedly a WI colleague. Somebody was posing as a colleague of mine, which was totally, completely wrong. And as Sue said, it's a scary world out there with social media. Definitely. No, I would never ever go on a dating site. Never. Because there have been people known that have gone on a dating site and the photograph of the person, the photograph doesn't even match the person.
No, it doesn't.
It's scary. It's the whole world at the moment is very, very scary in many ways.
Do you think it's harder then than like? Because if I'm honest, I get really jealous of people that say to me, "It's my own insecurity and it's my own problem and it's my own. It's not theirs, it's mine." But it really annoys me when people say, "Oh, we met each other at 13 years old and we fell in love and we got married." And do you think in the year of now 2021? Especially with COVID at the moment, let's forget about COVID, but in the year of 2021, do you think it's harder to find a relationship today? Let's go to you, Claire.
Yeah, I think it is, but I also think that there's too much emphasis on sex and violence. It's thrown at us through the media. All the soaps, they're all stories that you meet somebody and if you don't climb into bed with them on the first night, you haven't lived. That wasn't something that was years ago. Yes, I'm old and I did the way you've just said. I met my husband at 15. He was my only date. We had 47 very, very happy years. Yes, okay, it did go a bit wrong. Not through my fault, and my ex would emphatically tell you that I did nothing wrong at all. His head was turned and that, he couldn't say no. And it was all about sex at the end of the day. And I feel there's too much emphasis on sex, violence. Everybody's got to be perfect. We've got to have facial things done. We've got to be a perfect being, and we're all different. There's 3 ladies on here tonight. We've all got eyes, nose, mouth. We've got bodies, and all 3 are totally different.
Yeah.
But inside, we probably feel the same, and we possibly have the same views. And I think, judging by the nodding of the heads, we're all in agreement. But I think far too much emphasis is being put on. You've got to be perfect. Magazines, you've got to have a decent body. You've got to diet. We're surrounded by diet, aren't we? Everybody's got to diet. I'm getting off the subject, so I'll stop now and let somebody else.
No, Sandra, that's true. And what frightens me about it is because a lot of people on dating sites just want the sex.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
and,
I do.
And that frightens me. I mean,
yes.
Not that I don't want it, but I don't want to meet someone and just don't even know anything about. No, but you know what I mean? And then go in the back of the car. Who knows where it's going to take me? There might be a gang of them. Do you know what I'm saying, though?
I've been single now for 11 years and I've forgotten what it's all about.
Well, I'm not far behind you, Sandra. So, I think I have.
When my husband left me, I had a friend who was well in her 80s, bless her. And she came up to me and she put her arm around me and she said, "Are you okay? Are you coping all right?" And I said, "Yes, I got over the heartbreak stage and I'm doing all right." And she said, "I'll tell you something, girl." She said, "A bar of chocolate's better than sex any day of the week."
I was when I came out at 18. I hope I don't offend anybody by saying this, but it is quite a funny story. When I came out at 18, I remember a straight friend, still my friend today, questioning me about, I don't understand how you can't look at a woman and be excited. And I was like, because I'm just not made like that. I'm just not. So he said to me, so I'll give you a challenge then. So we're sat at this pub talk, you know, we're sat in the pub and he goes, so if you went home tonight and a woman was naked on the bed and said, do what you like to me, what would you say? But my answer was, I would say, where's the manual? I don't have a clue. Not a clue. That's led me on to a question that I wasn't going to bring up tonight, but actually I think it's really important. And let's go to you, Sue. Do you think pornography plays a big role in what young people and people think about?
Well, again, I think they're exposed to so much. Again, it's on social media. They might do something quite innocent. I've got somebody who lives near me, and this child is 14, and her parents are so proud of her. She's out tonight. You know, she's at school tomorrow. She goes out in these skimpy tops. She wears... and I think to myself, she's just asking for trouble. But they're proud of the way she is. And, you know... And I just feel, I think standards have changed now. I mean, I have a friend who teaches, is head of a year 8 at a secondary school, not in Lincoln. And most of their girls and boys in year 8 and 9 are sexually active now. They weren't in my day. They weren't.
But do you think there's more pressure nowadays, Claire? Do you think there's more pressure in young people and of associates and friends and stuff like that? Do you think there's more pressure to lose your virginity?
Yeah, I think so. But again, I just think it depends on what circle of friends you've got as well.
Yes.
I mean, what I know of my daughter, and, you know, she's got a good circle of friends. And like I say, it's not through lockdown, but now things are up and out again. She does her dancing, but I take her, I bring her back, you know, and more so she's in a bedroom, on social media, talking to her friends, you know, and if she does go to the park, you know, I'd still say to her, I want to know where you are, etc., etc. Yeah. So we're going back to the question. Yes, I do. But I think that's always been around, but depending on what group of friends you are with.
Yeah.
Because,
and
you know,
got interest. If they've got interest, she's got interest, she dances. And that's it. She's in a good, you know, good circle of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm pleased.
Oh, go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say I'm pleased that I'm not worrying that she's at the park. You know, like I say, from when I was her age, I'd be on the park because, like you say, we did play on the streets. And going back to that question about the streets, you don't see them playing. But if you see a group of youths, you are a bit scared, intimidated, because you don't know, you know, are they playing or are they looking for mischief?
Yeah. But the thing is, I disagree slightly because I've had this conversation before. And when I've talked to friends and family and stuff like that about is it harder 30 years ago than it is now for young people to play on the streets, for young people to go to the park, for stuff like that. To be honest, there were still paedophiles 30 years ago. There were still people that would do nasty things 30 years ago.
But it didn't seem as many. Nick,
no.
It wasn't as many. I used to hang around in the park with a group of lads from the boys' school, senior school and us. And there was never, I think once there was an incident with somebody, but you never had. There seems far more now than there was. Is that because I'm getting older? I don't know. But there really does. I think it's a scary world.
Well, the other thing I want to ask you, because all three of you are parents, really, and really, you are parents. What I wanted to ask really is when your child goes through their first heartbreak, their first hurt, their first pain, their first loss, everything. Do you think you feel the same amount of pain and hurt and suffering when your child is suffering?
Definitely. If you're any sort of mother, well, a mother is programmed to take knocks and to worry, and you worry about your children. I mean, I've got 3 daughters. Well, one I don't speak to, but I mean, 2 of my daughters. Yeah, I still worry about them. I'm still bothered. I mean, all my 3 daughters have gone through. Well, 2 have gone through divorce and 1 a separation, although she is back now. But yeah, you go through everything with them. If you're
You
any
never
sort
stop
of mother,
worrying.
you go through everything with them. But getting back to the pornography, I think there was an article in the newspaper that said that young boys can go online, they can see pornography, and they see that as being the norm of sex and how you treat your girlfriend, lady, wife, whatever. And it is not the norm.
Did you see the advert a couple of years ago? There was an advert, and it stuck with me forever, really, because I'm quite happy to admit, when I was 18, I ended up in a abusive, violent relationship for about 2 years, and I think the advert just stuck with me. I don't know if I was with him when I saw the advert, but there was this advert, and there was this window. And you could see this woman stood behind the window watching herself. So she was stood in a nightgown watching herself and watching her. It was quite a brutal advert, but watching her husband throw her about and kick her. And you could see her hammering at the window going, just walk out, just go, just. And that really stuck with me, because you do. Oh, getting a bit emotional. You do have moments like that where you think, just leave. Why are you still here? Why? But love is so empowering, isn't it? It just takes you on a journey that you think, and it's that old saying, isn't it? You've made your bed, so lie in it. I'm very old fashioned, that I had made that commitment. So I wasn't going to walk away from that commitment, but it's difficult, isn't it? Do you get what I'm saying, ladies?
Battered wives have been known to say, haven't they, that I can't leave him because I love him.
Yeah. And the other thing that I remember very, very clearly is, like, if I've watched, I'm into documentaries and stuff like that, and I watched like documentaries where women and men, I'm not saying it's I went through it, women and men would be stood at the washing up bowl making up excuses, and I used to sit there frustrated going, well, why are you giving this? But I remember it like it was yesterday, and I took a hard beating, and he went off into the front room, and I remember stood at the kitchen sink looking out the window going, well, he has had a hard day.
He told us this story.
Yeah, and it's all about, and you can't, it's like that. You can't get out of it. No matter, like my best friend said, oh, if I'd known, I would have come and done something about it. But then you think,
you don't want anybody else involved, do you? Because then if person knows, they'll take it out on you.
Yeah. And the scary part is, I don't know if I would have backed up my best friend.
Yeah.
Because obviously he was my husband. I was married to him. He was my husband. So I don't know if I would have backed up my best. It's really confusing anyway. The last question, let's go to you first, Claire. Do you worry about single friends?
Well, yeah, because like I say, I'm single, and, you know, when we go out, I'm with single ladies and married ladies, you know, not that we go out often. And yeah, it is a worry, but, you know, we try and watch each other's backs. And if they are going places, you know, to a couple of them, I will say, can you let me know, you know, when you're there, when you're back, you know, and even at my age, you know, into my 50s, we look out for our friends, because that's what you do. And I don't suppose what age you are, but and especially in this day and age, it is scary. So yeah, you do look out for your friends.
I'm not happy to go out in the evening on my own.
No.
If I go anywhere, it's probably WI or a different meeting, and I go in the car. I always park where it's very well lit. I'm not happy at all in the evening on my own. I say I go out very little in the evening on my own. But I do think you've just got to be so aware. As Sue said, it's a scary world we're in.
Yes. And also, I think the older you get, you go into a pub, you know, I still go out. I mean, although I'm on my second marriage and very happy, I still go out with old work colleagues and things,
Yes.
and you'll go in a pub. This was before lockdown and everything, and you'll go to the bar, and my age, whatever, you're invisible.
Yeah.
The barman's serving everybody around you.
Yeah.
And many a time I've said, excuse me,
Excuse me.
here, and I've said to people beside me, I was here before you. Well, I'm being served. It's as if you're totally invisible. So if I was single, how would I ever find anybody if even the barman ignores me and doesn't, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, Sue, I don't say boo to a goose. But a couple of years ago, I went into a bar. I won't say the bar, but I went into the bar and I was stood at the bar, and it was Mandy Stannard that was out with me. Hello, Mandy. And I was stood at the bar, and I was quite young, so it was quite a good couple of years ago, 23, 24. Stood at this bar, and I looked young. I don't look young anymore, but I looked young. And this strapping guy, so I was stood at the bar for about 10 minutes. And this strapping, beefy guy came up and basically said, and I stood there 10 minutes, and the barman went straight over to him. And I went, excuse me, I've been stood here 10 minutes. And this guy next to me says, no, you weren't. I've been here 15 minutes. And I went, no, you haven't. I've been here first, and I want to be served first. Well, you're not going to be served first. And I said to him, you need to get that toilet brush out your backside and just stand back for 2 minutes because I was first. And he went, okay. That's the first time I've ever done
brave.
But let us know. Remember, you are the fifth panel member at home. Let us know what you think. Do you think it's harder for young people today on the dating scene? Do you think it's as easy to get yourself out there and well known? And do you think it's hard for young people to find true love at a very young age? Make sure you have your say, because your view is just as important as ours. So moving on, we're going to talk about 5 men were charged and will return to court later this month over the murder of a 23-year-old man in Lincoln who was stabbed to death nearly said the area then, was stabbed to death in Lincoln on Thursday the 27th of May. But Carl Trice, who's 30 years old, is an amateur fighter who has been teaching boxing and kickboxing since 2010 and is determined to get young people off the streets and into sport at the Lincoln Fight Factory. Ladies, do you find this inspiring?
Yes. I think there's not enough for young people to do these days. There's not enough clubs and things. Everything's closing down. I think it's really good. Get rid of some of their aggression and some of the pent-up energy and get them off the screens and get them out exercising.
Do you agree, Claire?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this guy, bless him, he can see what's happening, and he wants to put all what he's got and all his knowledge into that to take people. Can
I just stop you a minute, Claire, because I've got a bit of a surprise. The guy that we are talking about is now coming on the show. So get prepared, ladies. We're going to meet him live.
Hello.
Hold on, it's just connecting.
Hi, Carl.
Hello.
Oh, it's just connecting. Technology is great when it works. Just talk about yourselves a minute, ladies. Hi, Carl. How are you?
Oh, there he is.
Oh, it's
Can't
muted. You've muted yourself. Carl, we can't hear you. It's muted. Hold on. This was all unprepared, ladies. So we have got a few questions for Carl because it's been his story that's been on the Lincolnite. Carl, just to let you know, you're muted, so we can't hear a word you're saying. So you just need to unmute yourself.
It'd be nice to have
There we go.
Oh, there we go. We're there. Hello, Carl. How are you?
Person.
I'm good, thanks. Yourself?
We've just been talking about your story on Lincolnite and how the ladies are quite inspired with what you do.
Okay.
So we've got a few questions for you. So this is a surprise to the audience as well, because I didn't realise you were coming on tonight. So, ladies, take your questions away.
Right. I wanted to ask you, hi, Carl and Sue. How long have you had this passion for your kickboxing? And what made you start?
So I started when I was 4. So I was the only boy out of 5 children. So I've got 2 sisters, 2 older, 2 younger. Being a lad, it's a thing just to get me into. It was around the corner from where we live. So my mum just thought it would be great, put me in. And from there, I just enjoyed it. I've carried it on and met some great people. And every year you just get better. And it's just a great passion, a great vibe to be in.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
Hi, Paul. I'm Claire.
Hello.
Yes, thank you. Do you think there should be more people like you to help keep children off the street?
I'd like to say yes. It is hard in this day and age. I know a couple of guys who have also done it, and it's not just us. And I don't want to single out, but there is just nothing for kids and teenagers now. You look around youth centres, community centres, parks, everything's gone. And rightfully, I'd like to say I'm going to have words with the council and try and get funding to help with sessions at the gym. But I do think they need to do something with helping out with activities in local areas as well, to give them somewhere to go, give them something to do at night and keep them off the streets.
Good answer. And I quite like that you're going to go towards the council. I think that's it's not just you doing it off your own back, you're actually stepping forward and making the community stand up as well, which is really good.
Yeah, I think it's something everybody should be involved in. It's not just about the martial arts side. It's literally just about getting the kids back to safety. I've had a lot of great messages come from this, and I've had a few bad, but everything comes with the bad. So, and I'm not saying I want people to go out and punch people. I'm not saying I want people to fight on the streets. I just want them to give something back to the community. I want them to have something to focus on. And be it boxing, be it rugby, be it cricket, as long as they're off the streets and safe, it's all that matters.
This is what we've been talking about tonight. And we said there just isn't anything now, is there?
Isn't. No, there isn't. When I grew up, I had a youth centre, community centre, and there was about 3 parks in the vicinity.
Yeah.
Now, it's literally none of that exists. No. There's nothing. And it's like the after school clubs, I found out from parents, a few after school clubs even have to be paid for now. And parents can't afford it. So it makes it difficult for what do you do with the kids? Sit them inside all night long? Or do you let them go out? And then you let them go out and things just happen, and it's now just getting a bit too out of hand.
Definitely. Totally agree with you. Well, that's
Sandra, before you step in with your question, I've got a question. Carl, you're a dad yourself now, aren't you? You are a father. Has this inspired you more because of your children and because of maybe when they're getting to a certain age that there's something out there for them?
It's just for everybody. It's just something I've always been passionate about. So going to the gym, seeing like the kids grow up, seeing them being inspired, and it's like we have kids come up to us all the time and just talk to us, ask you questions. And sometimes it's like people say, "Oh, does it not annoy you when they come and interrupt your training because you're training for a fight?" And I'm just like, it doesn't, because they've gone home and learned something. They've gone home and excelled to the next level, which they didn't think they could do. So it's just all in all, just knowing that I've gone home from the gym, seeing a kid smiling, seeing a teenager happy, seeing them being able to do something they couldn't do the week before is better than when I've actually done my training. It's a much better feeling for me. So that's something what I enjoy, and I thought this would do.
It's good. It's good. And I think, hopefully if there's enough publicity out there for you, and as you say, approach council, money will come in to help you. That's
it. Yeah. We've got it. Obviously, we've had a few people with like the money issues, and I've said if I could get funding, and I know the sessions aren't cheap, with it being at sort of like £5 for the adults and kids and stuff like that. But he does the bundle, so a 10-week course for £65. So if I could get funding for 10 kids, that could maybe drop that to £40, and then they'd step in that £25. £40 for 10 weeks, it's £4 a week, and they get 2 to 3 sessions a week, and they'd get free gym use. So it's not like you can't go up at the gym session times. You can go up any evening that sessions are on, and you can train still. You can do your own bit. You can go use the gym. So it can keep occupied every night.
Yes, yeah.
Definitely. Go on, Sandra, jump in with your
Well, it's you've preempted my question, really, because I was going to ask you if you thought there was enough opportunities for young people today, but with you saying that you thought that more clubs should be open, and I agree, you've preempted my question, because you've said that, you know, there really aren't quite the opportunities that there could be.
There definitely isn't any. If I was a teenager now, it's all about either you hang in a gang on the street corner or on a playing field, or you'd literally sat inside on your Xbox, PS, or your mobile phone all night, and you're reclusive. And it's like, these guys might be too afraid to go out. These guys may want to go out and get off their Xboxes, but they don't feel safe. I've had not just teenagers, I've had women and women with kids who said, I don't feel safe going out in the evenings because there's lads around on the streets. And it's like, that's a thing they want to come over as well, just to build up a bit of confidence. They want to know that they've got that bit of self-defense, they've got that confidence, and they feel safe on the streets. And all well and good, if this works and this took off, I feel I'd like everyone to be able to go out of their house at any time of day and not feel like they're going to be attacked or have to cross over the road because they feel intimidated. I want them to be able to walk past, have a friendly smile, have a nod, say hello, and just be a community again.
You're watching our conversations, anyway.
You've been listening, because it's just what we've said.
It's just what we've been talking about. Does anybody inspire you, Carl? Is anybody your inspiration?
Biggest one, obviously, is my mum. Hugely, and anytime, it's like, she's always a fighter. She's never given up. So no doubt about it, my mum's always been the biggest inspiration, and I always look at her to it. After that, obviously, I look at my martial artists. So Bruce Lee, very philosophical. He's just amazing in all areas. So he could fight, but he didn't want to fight. It was about the defense and stuff like that, and it was keeping the mind and the body in tune. So that again was another big influence of mine. So that's my two main, I would say.
Thank you.
So if people are interested in hearing more about it and kickboxing, what do they do? How can they contact you?
So obviously they can contact me by Facebook, Carl Tryson, it's with a K. They can go onto the Lincoln Fight Factory Facebook page and the website. There's Sean Burton, who owns the gym. His email is on there, or you can also message the page. And there's no booking required. Literally, you can come down. You can even just come down and watch a session if you wanted. See what it's all about. Ask some questions while you're there. Everyone's friendly. Everyone helps each other. You just feels like home. There's nobody who feels like you're elite. There's nobody who won't help you. If you've got a question, go up and ask somebody. They'll help you out. They're all like family up there, and it's an amazing place to be. It's literally open on the Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Every evening, I'm up there on the Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, sort of like 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock. And obviously, coming into the fighting will be more. I'm looking at seeing if we can get a couple of standalone sessions for these kids and teenagers on sort of like a Tuesday as well. So that will add another night with the gym being open. And just literally just have fun. Just get down, have a laugh, have fun, and just give it a go, really.
Nick, sorry, Nick, could we put it on our page?
Yeah, I was just about to say, Carl, if you send me the link to their Facebook page, can I say I recommend both of these people? I've known Carl for years, but I've also worked with Sean Burton for 6-7 years, and I recommend both of them. They're very, very approachable, very talkative sort of guys. You can have a chat, casual conversation, but I would definitely, so if you could send us the link to their Facebook page, Carl, I'll make sure that's posted on the Loose Linc page.
Good idea.
If anybody's interested.
Thank you.
And also, if you post something, I've talked to you about it afterwards, but if you post something on our Loose Linc page, your profile will come up. So it means that people can click on your profile and contact you.
Fantastic. So I can share the sort of like the Lincolnite story, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes,
good. Talking about that, we're really inspired by that. That's why.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to do. I want it to inspire, and I do want to just say, it's like with the bad messages, we do condone violence. We don't want violence in the streets. This is to give kids and teenagers and even adults focus, goals, determination, and something to do. We don't want it using on the streets, and we are fully against that. It's all licensed, and I'd rather have it in the gym in a controlled environment with head guards and gloves at semi-contact to light continuous than out on the street. So
we'll have to see if we can get you and Sean on together live from the gym, just to show us what you're all about and stuff like that. Carl, thank you ever so much for sharing, having a chat with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet
Have
you.
a good night. See you later on.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, wasn't that pretty amazing, girl?
Yes.
It was.
Pretty amazing. Inspiring. Actually, I was going to do a topic on that, but I think you said it all. I don't think there's so much more on that at all. And Carl Price, please get in contact with him if you're interested in any sort of way. He'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you or a chat. You don't have to be massively into punching people and stuff like that. It's an activity. It's something to get your children off the street. So have a chat, go down to the gym. We'll share everything on our Loose Linc page. So make sure you have a proper look at that. Our final subject, ladies, is Lincoln is starting to get a taste of summer. A half-term holidays enjoyed a long heat wave. Heights of 24 degrees Celsius are excelled in Lincoln on Tuesday and will continue throughout the week, and it did. My word, it did. The temperature is not expected to dip below 20 in the city until later on in the year. So it says here, perfect time for barbecues and a trip to the beach. Are you welcoming the heat wave or are you hiding away? Let's go to you first, Sue.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I do. I love it. Even just sitting under the umbrella in the shade. Yeah, I loved it. I lived abroad for 3 years.
Did you? I didn't know that.
You did. I lived in Hong Kong.
Oh.
And so I was used to.
I love it.
Not now. I know. He does know. He's forgotten.
Sue actually disowned us for all her family last week because they all turned up and for like a family gathering. And
yes, but tell them why, because it was the first time we'd all been together for a year.
Yeah,
so that's why I did.
Yeah. Did you have a lovely time?
Yes, thank you. In the sunshine, a barbecue.
Did you get drunk?
No.
Oh, well done. Come on, Sandra Overton. If you tell me you are running away from a heat wave, I'm not going to believe you for 1 second, because half the year you were in it all the bloody time.
I was. Well, I lived in Thailand for 6 months of the year, and I've been in 35 degrees. So 20 odd degrees is like cool to me. It's like being in a fridge. No, I love it, and I could lay in it until I melted. I hate the winter. I shall die in the winter.
I shall die in the winter.
It's never too hot for me. I absolutely love it. And if the sun's out, I'm out. Forget the housework and everything inside. I'm out in the garden.
Exactly. I'm a bit like that. What about you, Claire? Are you a welcoming heatwave person, or are you a hide away from the sun?
Oh, I love the sunshine. In the winter, I get that sad disease. I'm more sad. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
A lot of people suffer with that, don't they?
Yeah. I'm sad.
Really?
I'm not at the moment because the sun's out, so I'm happy.
Yeah. See, I'm a bit funny about the sun. Now,
Here we go.
Has to be one, you know.
Oh, yes.
Yes, to be one. And it has to be Nicholas.
I'm a real sun baby. I was born in July. I hate the humidity at night.
Oh, well, yeah.
I hate it. I can't stand going.
Get yourself a fan.
Oh, believe me, I've got many fans.
Hey!
Posting again.
Funny story, actually. My ex slept every night with a fan next to him. And for ages, I don't do it anymore, but for ages, I couldn't, even when he left, I couldn't sleep without it. It's like that white noise, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Like how you used to be snowing outside and I would still have the fan on and wrap myself up. But I think I'm half and half. So I love the sunshine. I love the sunshine when I'm not working.
That's it, yeah.
Carl's just sent a message saying thank you. I love the sun when I'm on holiday, when I'm not working, but I am a winter baby as well. I do like the fire on. I do like the central heating. I love the blanket. I love all the covers. Look at all your faces.
Well, I like being in. I just if it snows, I don't like going out.
Yeah. Oh, there's something about getting tucked up in winter nights. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But it's just cold when you go out. Claire's just said, it's all right when you're in the house with your central heating tucked up. The problem with heat in England is that as a country, we are not conditioned for heat.
No.
In places like Thailand and Hong Kong, all the buildings and everywhere and offices, they all have air conditioning.
Yeah, you're right.
The houses have air conditioning. So you're not out in it until the funniest thing about being out is that when you're in the air conditioning, you go out for the evening, and once you open the door, your glasses steam up. Outside. Not inside, but outside.
Yeah.
I could see you in Hong Kong, Sue Craven. Hello, Sue Craven has arrived. I'm here.
I loved it. It was idyllic.
Oh, do you know what? If you're a friend with Sue Craven, you've got a friend for life. And my word, the amount of times we've belly laughed. And at one point, she was my boss, but we won't go any further into that. Do you think, as Brits, we are never happy with the weather?
Oh, definitely.
Of course we're not.
No, you go somebody, oh, isn't it cold? Oh, I can't wait for the sunshine. And then we get 2 rays of sun and they go, oh, can't stand this heat.
Too hot.
They're never satisfied.
Or they moan about not being able to sleep at night.
The thing is, I slightly saw somebody for a couple of weeks, but it's fizzled out. We're still friends, but I've been single 2 years now. 2 years this month. 2 years this month I've been single. And I forgot how difficult it is to sleep with somebody in hot weather.
I know.
I forgot that stickiness and that get off me, just move over. I don't want to be touched. And it's really hard, isn't it? Going off subject a little bit. Maybe we should have talked about this in Singleton, but Singleton, when you finally do find that relationship and that one and that, maybe you'll be able to answer this too, because you've been there and I think you're the only one taking on the panel. Yes. Is it difficult that when you've led a single life in a flat on the Vale, when you've led a single life, is it difficult to adjust to somebody walking back in?
Yeah, but the thing is, don't forget, it was a long time. It was 5 years before he actually took the plunge and we moved in together. So we had plenty of time to get used to it. It is difficult, though.
Well, I don't think I couldn't sleep with anybody now because I sleep in a double bed, and sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm completely on the other side of the bed. So,
well,
I really don't. Well, I honestly think the person who invented the double bed wants shooting, because I think it's much better to be in two single beds. I loved it when we stayed in the hotel. We had twin beds. I mean,
well, you need to be like the Queen, Sandra. You need to have your own bedroom and then just visit each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
remember, he's got to have the yacht.
Just be standing in your bed ready. Well, I always said, you know, I mean, if I met anybody, I said I would never ever get married again. I said I would be quite happy to have somebody for company, take me out for a meal, have a glass of wine with, come for the weekend and go home for the rest of the week and take his washing with him.
Yeah, that's it.
Definitely.
I've
got a friend
ideal relationship.
Say again, Sue.
I said it'd be an ideal relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, I learned something the other day actually talking about relationships and stuff like this. Do you know, you might know because it's teacher. Do you know why? Do you know why women wear the veil? I found this out. Do you know why women wear a veil on their wedding day? It's down to arranged marriages.
Yes.
Because the woman would wear the veil down the aisle and then reveal herself.
And he can't do a runner.
And that's the whole point of the veil. So I'm just going to be wearing a veil for life.
I'll join you.
We'll marry each other, Claire.
Yeah. That'd be good. Yeah.
Last question. So, do you like, let's go for you first, Sue. Do you like to get on a plane and go on a holiday, or are you a city break person?
No, I love to go on I like to go on a ship and go on holiday. A plane and then a ship.
Do you know my
favourite? But won't be doing that for a long time.
Do you know my favourite person? And I would, if anybody has any contact with her,
Jane
watches it. Jane McDonald.
Yeah.
Oh, just in love with her.
She's a gay icon, isn't she?
Yeah. I've got her albums. I go and watch.
We went to see her, didn't we?
We did. Me and Sandra went to see her.
Yeah, we went twice. Didn't we?
We did.
So, Nick, you've just said that you want to get together, and now you're telling me that you're Jane McDonald. Yes. What's that all about?
I just want to sing with her. I just want to do a song with her on stage.
How do you know Claire can't sing?
Well,
exactly.
Well, Claire, you're coming on the first Loose Linc live, aren't you? So maybe that's something we can organise. Don't go breaking my heart.
I tell you which one I have done before with my friend. I take that one, and I were Lulu.
Well, would you? Relight my fire.
Yep.
Or Sue, you always relight my fire. Sandra, are you a city break person, or are you on that plane?
No, I'm on the plane.
You're on the plane.
Seaside,
on the plane holiday. What about you, Claire? Are you on the plane or a city break person?
I love both. I wouldn't say city break, but I do love going on an aeroplane, as in with the children or, with the girls. But also I do like country breaks and things like that. Yeah. We had to cancel a couple of girly hot tub things. Do you know what I mean? But, hey ho. I like both. I'm just a bit apprehensive at the moment about planes.
Oh, well, I don't think anybody with any sense is going far, are they? They're not going anywhere this year, are they?
I mean, and that's why the prices have hiked up in this country.
I'm certainly not planning on going on to Thailand in the very near future.
No, well, that's another subject, Nick.
Yeah, exactly. Ladies, that brings us to the end of this week's Loose Links. It has been an amazing show tonight. A few surprises on the way, full of conversation, and thank you for joining us on your Tuesday evening and watching us. We always love to entertain you. Will you thank my panel for this evening? The singer of my song is Claire Brown in May.
Oh,
the woman that wants a part-time relationship, that's Sandra Overton. And it might have taken her 5 years, but it's still going strong. That's Sue Craven. And making sure nobody had left feet was me, Nicholas James. Make sure you join us next week for a whole new load of topics, new panel, new conversation. Thank you for joining us this evening. Good night and God bless. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.